Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new episode. Today, in this episode I wanted to discuss with you briefly some tips and tricks that I would like to employ in my um, German campaign once again. While I've always been a huge fan of the historically accurate gameplay, which includes historical production of things, historical templates for my divisions. Um, for this campaign, I decided to try something different, to go a bit, I'd say, outside of the rails, which is very unusual for me because you guys know me, I'm really a fetishist of historical accuracy. This time things will be different because the goal of this campaign is to make Germany a great air power and to win a desperate war of attrition against the other majors, which is something that Germany could not do in real life. And let's say a few changes that I would like to do are first of all a big investment on the intelligence agency, and in particular I'm looking at the Soviet Union. Alright, because as I mentioned in the introductory video, let's say my plan to weaken the Soviet Union would be to stage a coup to bring back, I don't know, somebody from the exile. Yeah, I don't know if Trotsky or somebody else, which should weaken the Soviet state and then pave the way for my for my invasion, land invasion. In terms of research, as one of you guys already wrote me in the comments, I should go. I should not go with the BF 109 branch, but rather follow the Heinkel branch. And if we now compare the statistics, okay, 20, 20, 550, 550, air attack 16.5 versus 15, agility 46 versus 45. And if we now go down, well, we see that air attack 18.5, agility 51 versus 18 and 49. So overall, the Heinkel fighter branch seems slightly better compared to the Messerschmitt. And yeah, if it wasn't for this, I would have always sticked to the BF 109 because it's the most iconic fighter planes together with the FW 190. But no, I would like to go now with the Heinkel fighters. And I also found that the Junker 88 light bomber seems to perform better compared to the others, because if we now compare, let's say, this one with the Heinkel medium one, well, while the Heinkel may have a higher strategic bombing effect in terms of ground attack, well, the Junker has 10 versus only 8. It's slightly faster, and okay, it has a smaller range, but higher ground attack and higher speed, for me it's better than just having a longer range. And as this campaign is also, let's say, mimics Mr. Mustache joining the Air Force in 1914 or 15, I don't recall now. I also tried to imagine what would have happened had he joined the Air Force and invested a lot in the Air Force. This meant that by 1936 things could have been slightly different in Germany. As you can see, for instance, in this hypothetical scenario, I imagine the Luftwaffe already having the technology for the Bf 109 fighter, as well as the technology to produce the very first heavy bombers. And as these should have came at the cost of the naval research, I just basically removed the cruiser armor schemes, as well as the improved torpedo and a few other naval technologies, just to balance, the number of techs to avoid any unusual cheating, let's say. Yeah. And so I discussed about the Air Force, I discussed about the research. In terms of construction, so my idea would be to boost for as long as possible the civilian factories here, invest a lot in military factories, and then expand my fuel silos reserve, and if possible, sorry, build up some refineries, some steel refinery here to alleviate the pressure on my precious resources, let's say. And all right, so in terms of production, I still have I don't know precisely what I will do. For sure, I will invest a lot in heavy bombers. I would like to research as well heavy fighters for the escort. A lot of fighters for sure to gain air superiority, and I will stick to the light bombers because I think they are better than the medium ones, and maybe I will sacrifice a bit the close air support, as the goal will be to really wage a war of destruction from the air against the enemy troops. And in terms of templates, you know me, as I said at the beginning, I always love to play with the historical templates, but let's say not really in this occasion. And I had some ideas on how to improve this, and for sure I would love to play with the 20 combat width, and this is how I would like to organize my infantry divisions. Okay, so there we go. First of all, I would like to replace the normal logistics company with a motorized one because it gives a higher bonus in terms of reduction of supply usage. I would like to get rid of one battalion of frontline infantry, replace the light artillery with medium artillery, and then kick out the last artillery battalion. Now, coming to the motorized divisions, well, the situation does not look too different, because now I have again 8 motorized infantry battalions, 3 motorized medium artillery battalions, 1 motorized anti-tank battalion, and again the motorized logistics company. In terms of let's say tank divisions, I think this is still a work in progress template, because I would like maybe to keep the 24 width division, because the panzer units will not form the bulk of my army. The bulk of my army will be made by infantry divisions, so I think I could, let's say, exaggerate a bit with the width of the panzer divisions, and maybe even bring them up to 30 combat width. But this is still, let's say, work in progress. For sure, what will happen is that as soon as I will get the first assault gun brigades, or the first self-propelled anti-tank guns and artillery, would be nice to replace them in my panzer division units. And yeah, so if you have any idea on which is, in your opinion, the best template for playing the Hearts of Iron 4 Total War mod, then please, guys, let me know in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to hear from you. And well, as always, take care, stay safe, and stay tuned for more.